When we talk about planning one's estate, we're usually concerned with who's going to get what. However, we always need to remember the flip side of that. Who do you explicitly want to not receive something from your estate? But how do you make those decisions, and who do you realistically have to worry about disinheriting? Well, let's find out. But first, thank you so much for watching. If you find this video helpful, please hit the like button, and if you want to see more, please subscribe and ring the bell, or drop a comment below. So you've decided you want to keep some of your beloved family members from dipping their hands into your hard-earned fortune when you pass away. Well, it's important to know who your natural heirs are in California. These are the folks who would inherit from your estate if you die without a will or a trust. First up, we have your beloved spouse, till death do you part. Well, they'd be first in line to inherit your estate. California is what's called a community property state, so that spouse will get half of everything you acquired during the marriage. But let's say you want to leave them high and dry. Well, you'll need a will or a trust to do that. Typically, we only see that type of planning in blended marriages where each parent has children of their own. When parents want to put children at ease, and they want to make sure that those kids aren't left high and dry at the first death. Speaking of, next are your little bundles of joy, your children. If you don't have a will or a trust, then they'll inherit your separate property and your half of the community property. But hey, if you want to teach them a lesson on self-sufficiency, then you can always disinherit them. All joking aside, I've talked about how we have had clients disinherit their children in favor of grandchildren. Since the kids are all older and self-sufficient, so grandma and grandpa want to give something directly to the grandkids and skip over mom and dad. We also have clients that unfortunately have had to do this because that intervening parent has some demons of their own to battle, but that favorite grandchild turned out all right. If we're in that situation, then this generation skipping must be done ahead of time in writing. Now, if your spouse, children, and grandchildren are all out of the picture, either intentionally or not, your estate will pass to your parents, siblings, nieces and nephews, and so on and so forth. You get the idea. The family tree keeps expanding, and so does the list of potential heirs. Basically, you will always have an heir at law, no matter how many degrees of separation there ultimately are. This does mean the state doesn't get all your money, despite what some people believe. Uncle Sam gets you through taxes, not just taking your money outright. Now you have some decisions to make. How far down the family tree do you want to go when disinheriting people? Keep in mind, disinheriting people can often invite trouble and give bad actors that extra incentive to cause problems. However, I've discussed this before, you don't want to simply leave them something like $1 either. If you feel someone in your family is truly undeserving of receiving an inheritance, then making sure those wishes are in writing ahead of time is the only way to ensure your hard-earned estate goes where you want it to. As far as how far down the family line you need to consider, generally just immediate family. Children, grandchildren, parents, siblings, and nieces and nephews. This will of course depend on your age and family makeup, but it's generally how far most people need to plan. Going further is typically unnecessary. If you're struggling to come to terms with the decision to disinherit someone, take some time to think about the situation. If the need to establish a will or trust isn't pressing, then taking an extra day or two to think might be a good idea. Another thing to do is reflect on your motivations. Try to understand the reasons behind your desires to disinherit that person so you can feel more secure you aren't making the decision arbitrarily or without consideration. Is it estrangement, financial irresponsibility, a wish not to stir family drama, or is it something petty? Additionally, I've seen the advice to also consider the consequences or impact. Disinheritance can lead to hard feelings or even legal challenges. While I think these are good considerations, I would not dwell on them too much or on the pure emotions of the matter. Ultimately, it's your estate plan, and it should be created to your specifications, not what others might want or expect of you. Don't forget to hit that like button if you found this video helpful, and subscribe for more videos on law, finance, and estate planning. If you've got any questions, then drop a comment below. I'm attorney Andrew Bethel, and I'll see you at our next meeting.